Okay, I guess we are live. Wait a second. Okay, I guess we are live. Wait a second. Yeah. चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं. एक सेकेंड वेट करना. चलो तो देखो, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड इवनिंग, गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन, जो भी इस लेक्चर देख रहा है या फिर फ्यूचर में देखेगा. एनीवे, मूविंग ऑन. हेलो. ओके, आई हैव टू चेक सेलेक्ट अ कलर और समथिंग. कलर कौन सा ले? वाइट ले लेते हैं अभी के लिए. रेड ले लेते हैं, बाद में वाइट कर लेंगे. एंड लेट मी सेलेक्ट 12.1. ठीक है. क्या हुआ, नहीं चल रहा है अभी भी? हाँ, चल तो रहा है. ठीक है. सो hello all, this is me, Saurabh, your mentor, and today we'll study something about matrices. So yesterday we gave a brief introduction about matrices. आज का क्या target रहेगा? I will study some more operations on matrices, and those operations are multiplication, that how to multiply matrices, taking transpose, and conjugate. These are the properties which I aim that we will study today. So welcome all. I am Saurabh, IIT-JEE graduate. I graduated this year from IIT-JEE from the electrical engineering department. Previously I have worked for Nokia as well as for Yahoo, and on top of that I have 4+ years of teaching experience. So I have been teaching for a while now and decided that I shall teach on Unacademy also. Moving on, India's largest e-learning platform, which is Unacademy. So this is something important which I would like to share with you before we move forward. And since this lecture is free, I would also like you to explore some few things, which is the subscription which is provided by Unacademy. So Unacademy aims to provide two kind of subscription. One of the kind of subscription is the plus subscription. Okay, so in a plus subscription, what happens is you will get daily live classes, live tests and quizzes, and structured courses. So for example, daily live classes are basically, there is a class going on, it's live completely. Okay, so for example, this class is live. Similar to it, the live classes are going on the Unacademy platform, and on those live classes you can chat with the educator, engage in discussion, ask your doubts, a lot of things that you can do that you can't do on YouTube. On top of that, you will get live tests and quizzes which will be prepared by the educator for you, structured courses prepared by IITians or field expert who have been teaching for a while, and you will get unlimited supply of all of these, unlimited access to all the content which is there. So it's just like a Netflix subscription, but instead of watching movies, you will have to study. Anyway, the other subscription which Unacademy aims to provide is the iconic subscription. Okay, so how is iconic subscription different than the regular subscription? तो देखो, iconic subscription में क्या होता है? Generally in an offline setting and in an online setting, there is a need. In an offline setting, there is something known as human touch, and by human touch we mean that a person who guides you, who tells you what to do, what not to do, a person who you can rely on. So in order to bridge that gap in an online education, Unacademy has come up with this iconic subscription idea, in which you will be provided with a personal coach, and that coach happens to be an IIT. If you are an IIT-JEE aspirant, or he will be a NEET qualified person or AIMS qualified person if you are in the similar field. So that personal coach will give you guidance. Okay, that personal coach or the person will give you a test analysis of all the tests that you give. He will prepare you a study planner, he will mentor you, he will guide you, he will tell you which book to choose, which books not to choose, he will tell you what are the things that you should do at this moment. He will prepare a customized study plan for you. On top of that, you will get all the benefits of plus. तो प्लस में जितने बेनिफिट है वो तो मिलेंगे ही, प्लस यू विल गेट अ पर्सनल कोच. सो दिस इज द आइकॉनिक कोच. iconic subscription. ठीक है? So I thought I might also tell you about this because it's necessary obviously to know about the subscription that is available. And for people who can't afford, obviously I am here for you on Unacademy. You can always watch these lectures for free. Download the app from Google Play Store. It's free of cost. Now regarding the subscription charges, plus subscription, for the plus subscription for 12 months, that is 1 year, you will have to pay 38,500 for 1 year, and for 2 years you will have to pay 56,000. So obviously cheap, way cheap comparable to the regular coaching charges. So coaching, I don't know, when I was in 2016, coaching institutes used to charge like 2 lakh or 3 lakh for 2 years, and this is 2020 and 56,000. So I guess that's quite cheap. On top of that, you will get all of these. No, only live test. Personal coaches, these kind of stuff you will get in an iconic subscription. So also on top of that, if you use this promo code SK01, you will get 10% extra discount. ठीक है, 10% डिस्काउंट तो मिलेगा ही, ये तो यूज़ कर ही सकते हो. SK01. Okay, now regarding the iconic subscription. तो देखो iconic subscription क्या था, बताया था मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले. Iconic subscription for 12 months you will have to pay 56,000, and for 24 months 86,000, and you will get all these benefits. Again, you can apply this promo code SK01 to get 10% discount. On all these 56,000 or 86,000, whichever applicable. Anyway, so matrices, today we plan to study matrix multiplication, as you can see the title. So today we plan to study multiplication and transpose. There is another topic which I plan to study, plan to cover, and that is the conjugate. उसे भी cover up कर लेंगे class के end तक. Okay. So before we move on, I don't think I have some enough spaces, तो कुछ spaces ले लेता हूँ मैं, उसके बाद start करते हैं. Just wait a second, हो गया बस. Sorry, I kind of forgot about it. So it's totally on to me. It's totally my bad. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. So yesterday we studied addition, subtraction, and addition and subtraction of matrices. This is what we studied yesterday. We studied something more, and that was multiplication by a scalar. So if you remember, addition of matrix was, for example, if I have two matrices A and B and you add them, this is what we studied, how to do it. You also studied A minus B, how to subtract two matrices, and you also studied how to multiply a matrix by a scalar number. Scalar number is nothing but a real number. ठीक है, scalar number कुछ नहीं होता है, एक real number होता है. Scalar number is nothing but a real number. ठीक है, scalar number कुछ नहीं होता है, एक real number. Okay. Now today what we plan to study, how to multiply two matrices. So for example, you have a matrix A and you have to multiply it with the matrix B. So this is the matrix multiplication. Obviously this multiplication is different than the regular multiplication. For example, 2 cross 2 into 3, which is 6. This multiplication and this multiplication, they look same, but operation wise they are not same, because the objects here is real numbers and the objects here is matrices. ठीक है, let's try to do it. Okay. So if you remember yesterday, we said that if you simply want to add two matrices, you will have to satisfy a few conditions, and one of those conditions was they should have same order. It means that if A is a m cross n matrix, B should also be m cross n, otherwise you cannot add them or you cannot subtract them. So these are the conditions which we studied for addition or subtraction of matrices. So obviously for multiplication of matrices also there should be some condition. So first let's try to define multiplication of matrices, then we'll see what are the kind of conditions that will follow up. तो देखो होता क्या है, if you suppose you have a matrix A11, A12, B11, B12, and you want to multiply it with a matrix, my bad, it should be A21, A22. Similarly B11, B12, B21, B22. So these are the two matrices. Let's say this is A, let's say this is B. So we are trying to find A multiplied by B. So how do you solve it? Just remember, how do you solve it? You first take a first row of this, you take a row of this, then you take the first column of this, and you multiply element wise. For example, first element of this will get multiplied to first element of this, then the second will get multiplied to second, and there is a plus sign. Okay, so first row, hi Aditya Mishra, so first row will get multiplied with the first column. This is how you multiply two matrices. I will again repeat, this is one matrix, this is two matrix, this is the second matrix. So first I will take the first row of this matrix, which is A11 and A12. Remember, this is horizontal lines are rows and vertical lines are columns. So I will take the first row of this and the first column of this and multiply them. And how the multiplication works, first element A11 will get to multiply B11, A12 will get multiplied with B12. So it's like this, this will get multiplied with this. Okay, first row, first column. Now first row will get multiplied with the second column. It means this will get multiplied with this. So A11 will, okay, let me write it in a more concise manner. Okay, so A11 B11 plus A12 B21. This is the first element. Okay, for the second element you will have A11 B12, then A12 B22. So I hope you are able to catch the pattern here. You take the first row, multiply with the first column, then you first row, second column, which is exactly this. This is the A, let's say, let me call it C. C11, first row, first column element. C12, first row, second column element. So first row, first column element is obtained by multiplying the first row of this with the first column of this. Okay, similarly first row, second column is obtained by multiplying first column of A with the second column of B. Okay, now let's see the other one. Then we will move to downward, then we'll say first row, second column. First row, second column, because this element is, oh sorry, second row, first column, my bad. This is second row, first column, because this element would be C21, second row, first column. So A21 B11 plus A22 B21, and similarly second row, second column, second row, second column. So A21 B12 plus A22 B22. So this is how you multiply a simple matrix. So for example, this was a 2 cross 2 matrix, this is a 2 cross 2 matrix. This is how you multiply. You take the ith row. So for example, if you want to get C11, you had first row multiplied with first column, C12 first row multiplied with second column, C21 second row multiplied with first column, C22 second row multiplied with second column. So in general I can say that in order to get the Cij element in the multiplied matrix, you take the ith row of the first matrix and jth column of the second matrix and you multiply them row wise, and obviously there is a plus sign after every multiplication. But what about the condition? What are the conditions? Yeah, वो कौन सी conditions है जो necessary है multiplication के लिए? So conditions मैं अभी बता देता हूँ. For example, there is a matrix A, there is a matrix B. This has an order m into n, and this has an order, let's say, p into q. So in order, so for these two matrices, for AB to be defined, the column number of column of A should be equal to number of row of A. It means that n should be equal to p. Number of columns of A should be equal to number of rows of B. Now let's see why is it the case. Just let's get back to the example. So remember, we were taking first row and multiplying with this whole column, the row, then multiply by column, row multiply by column. So if you see, this is a column, this is one column. Obviously, if you want to, we are multiplying A11 with B11, A22 A12 with B12. Suppose there is one extra element, let's say A13, and there is B A23. Let's say there is one extra element. So this element has to be multiplied with some element. This element has to be multiplied with some element. It means that whatever is the number of columns here, 1, 2, 3, same must be the number of rows here. Otherwise, for this element there won't be any number to be multiplied. So even if it is not clear, I will simply say कि इसे एक बार के लिए रट जाओ. If the intuition is clear, then everything is fine. Otherwise, just remember the number of columns in this should be equal to the number of rows in B for AB to be defined. Similarly, for BA to be defined, B, what is B? P cross Q. What is A? M cross N. So here, this will be the first one and this will be the second one. For this to be defined, Q should be equal to M. Q should be equal to M. Okay? Q should be equal to M. So obviously it is very obvious to see first that AB is not equal to BA, and second, if AB is defined, it won't imply that BA is defined. देखो AB डिफाइंड होने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? A के कॉलम B के रो के इक्वल होने चाहिए. लेकिन BA डिफाइंड होने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? BA डिफाइंड होने के लिए B के कॉलम A के रो के इक्वल होने चाहिए. तो ऑब्वियसली ये दोनों चीज़ें तो अलग अलग है ना. हो सकता है ये ट्रू हो लेकिन ये ट्रू ना हो, एंड वाइस वर्सा. If BA is defined, हो सकता है AB defined ना हो. But the most important condition for a matrix multiplication AB to be defined is that the order m cross n, and it should be look like n cross p. For example, this n and this n should be equal. The number of columns in A should be equal to the number of rows in B. This is the necessary and sufficient condition for the necessary condition for the multiplication to be defined. इसके बिना multiplication defined नहीं होगा. तो एक काम करते हैं, एक example देखते हैं. So let's say A is a matrix which is 1 2 1 2 minus 1 0. So what is the order? The order is 3 cross 2. Okay, and B is a matrix which is 1 1. So this is 2 cross 1. 2 cross 1. So if you see, the number of columns here is equal to the number of rows here. So obviously AB is defined. AB is defined. What about BA? If you see BA, this is 2 cross 1, this is 3 cross 2. So 3 is not equal to 1, so this is not defined. A very easy method to check is simply write A, order of A 3 2, order of B 2 1. This should be equal 2 and 2. Okay, so let's try to define AB. So AB would be equal to, let's say this is another matrix C. That would be 1 2 1 2 minus 1 0, and this will get multiplied with 1 1. So how will the multiplication go? First row first column, so 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1. Okay, second row first column, 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1, and the last one is minus 1 into 1 plus 0 into 1. Okay, these two elements will get multiplied with these two with a plus sign, these two with these two with a plus sign, these two with these two with a plus sign. So if you solve this, you will get 1 plus 2 3, and this is minus 1. So this has a dimension of, what is the order of this? 3 rows and 1 column. Now it is very evident to understand, it is very evident to see that the dimension of AB, which is the dimension of AB, the final matrix C, can be calculated as 3 cross 2, 2 cross 1. You cancel these two, whatever is remain is the dimension of C, or the order of C, 3 cross 1. Hello Dhruv. So for example, if A has an order m cross n, and B has an order n cross P, if you multiply AB, then you will have Mn multiplied by NP. N and N will cancel out, so you will be left with MP. So this will be the order of the matrix multiplication AB. चल है, उतना कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आज वैसे हम मेट्रिक्स पढ़ रहे हैं. आई डोंट नो, मेट्रिसेस आता है तुमको? ध्रुव, डू यू नो मेट्रिसेस? आता ही नहीं आता, ये बताओ. Okay, so what did we study? We studied that for AB to be defined, if the order of A is M into N and B is P into Q, then N should be equal to P. सर अब भूल गए हो तो एक काम करो, आज सीख लो. तो अभी हम मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन सीख रहे हैं. मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन आज होगा, एक होगा, फिर होगा ट्रांसपोज ऑफ अ मैट्रिक्स, देन वी विल सी कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ अ मैट्रिक्स. फॉर ए बी टू बी डिफाइंड, ए का अगर ऑर्डर है m इंटू एन, बी का अगर ऑर्डर है p इंटू क्यू. ऑर्डर का मतलब क्या होता है? कितने रोज एंड कितने कॉलम्स. दिस इज द नंबर ऑफ रोज एंड दिस इज द नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स. देन इसके कॉलम्स इसके रोज के इक्वल होने चाहिए, n इक्वल टू p. सिमिलरली फॉर बी ए, मजाक कर रहे हो, मतलब आता है ना तुमको, फिर तो सही है. So for B, let's say this is PQ and this is Mn. So इसके कॉलम इसके रो के इक्वल होने चाहिए. It means Q should be equal to M. ठीक है. And the third thing which we studied, that the dimension of AB, suppose A is M cross N and B is N cross P, then you can simply cancel out NN. The dimension of AB should be equal to M cross P. Dimension or the order. ठीक है. तो एक काम करो, एक क्वेश्चन कर दो. बैठे बैठे वेट ये क्वेश्चन करते हैं. एक्स एंड वाई का, ध्रुव अगर खाली बैठे हो तो एक काम करो, एक्स और वाई की वैल्यू निकालो. मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन पे बेस्ड है क्वेश्चन. देखते हैं तुम्हें कितना मल्टीप्लिकेशन याद है. तुम बोल रहे हो ना मजाक कर रहे हो, देखते हैं. सॉल्व करो, तुम्हारे पास 2 मिनट है. हो जाए तो आंसर लिख देना कमेंट में. चलो यार, लगता है तुम तो सॉल्व नहीं करने वाले, मैं ही कर देता हूँ. तो देखो, फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्स एंड वाई विच सैटिस्फाई द इक्वेशन. तो इक्वेशन क्या है? लेट्स से दिस मैट्रिक्स इज ए, दिस मैट्रिक्स इज बी एंड दिस मैट्रिक्स इज सी. So क्या बोला है? ए बी इक्वल टू सी. वी हैव बीन गिवन दैट ए बी शुड बी इक्वल टू सी. So remember, two matrices are equal when their elements, all the elements are equal. So first let's see A, dimension of A. What is the order of A? 3 rows and 2 column. What is the order of B? 2 rows and 2 column. So is AB defined? Is AB defined? First let's check. 3 cross 2, 2 cross 2. Obviously AB is defined because 2 is equal to 2. And what is the order of AB? What is remained? 3 cross 2. This is the order of AB. So AB will have a 3 cross 2 order. What is the order of C? 3 rows and 2 columns. So this is also 3 into 2. So obviously if one matrix AB is equal to the other matrix, then their order should be equal. So 3 cross 2 equal to 3 cross 2. So equality will hold for some value of x and y. चलो चेक करते हैं, रुक तो जाओ. ठीक है, चेक करते हैं. So now we have to do this. First let's try to calculate the AB. So if you A is 3 minus 2, 3 0 2 4 y y x x. How do you multiply? multiplication is first row first column, so 3 into y minus 2 into x. First row second column, so 3 into y minus 2 into x. Then second row first column, so 3 into y minus 0 into x, so minus 0 into x. First second row second column, so 3 into y minus 0 into x, so I'm not writing that because that would be 0. 2 into y third row first column plus 4x. Okay, 2 into y plus 4x, sorry, this is 2 into y plus 4x. Okay, simple sada. If you solve this, you will get 3y minus 2x. यार मैंने अपनी जगह को अपडेट नहीं किया है, मेरा लैपटॉप, याद है मेरा लैपटॉप ख़राब हो गया था, वो अभी तक ठीक नहीं हुआ है, तो मैं अभी भी किसी और का लैपटॉप यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, तो इसका कैमरे का थोड़ा एंगल अलग है और कैमरा भी डिफरेंट है. सर आंसर इज गिवन, हाँ तो कैलकुलेट तो करे कितना आ रहा आंसर. एंड दिस इज इक्वल टू, ये किसके इक्वल है, ये इक्वल है 3y 3y and 10 10. So first, what does it mean that 3 would be equal to this 3 would be equal to this, 3y वो तो equal है ही, 10 should be equal to 2y plus 4x, 10 should be equal to 2y plus 4x. तो दो इक्वेशन लिख लेते हैं यहाँ से. What we can write is 3y minus 2x is equal to 3, because this would be equal to this element wise and this should be equal to this. So 2y plus 4x is equal to 10. हाँ सॉल्व तो करते हैं, बाकी लोगों के लिए भी तो सॉल्व करना है यार. So let's multiply this equation by 2. We will get 6y minus 4x is equal to 6. 2y plus 4x is equal to 10. 8y is equal to 16. So y equal to 2. Y equal to 2. Put it back here, let's say in this equation. So if you put y equal to 2, 2 to the 4 plus 4x equal 10. 4x equal 6, x equal 6 by 4, which is equal 3 by 2. So x is equal to 3 by 2. ठीक है ध्रुव, तुम्हारा आंसर तो सही है. चलो एक और क्वेश्चन करो, ये शो करो, खाली बैठे हो तो ये करो. I don't know, काफी इचिंग हो रही है मुझे. I don't know, maybe इन्फेक्शन हो गया. क्लास के बाद कुछ करता हूँ. So this question. Okay, so if a equal to, so it is given that a equal to p q 0 1. So sometimes people also represent matrices as this. कुछ लोग ऐसे लिखते हैं, कुछ लोग ऐसे लिखते हैं. So don't get confused, both are same. p q 0 1. Then we have to show that e to the power 8 would be equal to simply this p to the power 8, q into p to the power 8 minus 1 upon p minus 1, 0 and 1. This is what we have to prove. So let's start. I guess we'll have to, so in these kind of question you will have to find a pattern, क्योंकि obviously a to the power 8 actually means a into a 8 times. तो अब 8 times multiply तो नहीं करेंगे. So we will find a pattern and then we will say अच्छा this is the pattern for these two or these three matrices multiplication. So बाकी multiplication के लिए भी यही pattern चलेगा. We will have to find a pattern. So let's try to find a pattern. So a equal pq into 0a 1. So let's try to find a square, which is a into a. Obviously a into a will always be defined. This is 2 cross 2, this is also 2 cross 2, because it is square matrix. So p into q multiplied by this, so p into p will become p square, q into 0 will become 0, and p into q first row first column, then first row second column, p into q plus q. Then this is 0 into p is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, 0 into q is 0, 1 into 1 is 1. I hope the multiplication is clear. First row first column, first row second column. So let me elaborate this for example so that you can see. So p into p plus q into 0, then p into q, q into 1, 0 into p, then 1 into 0. Remember this row then this column, and 0 into q, 1 into 1. Okay, this is nothing but this. So if you see, what is this? This is p square p q plus 1 upon 0 1. This is a square. So if you see, when you squared a, you got p to the power 2. This remained same, and there is something here. So if you see the proof, a to the power 8, the same power will appear here, and some pattern here in 0 1. So if you see, this is what we want, this is what we want, this is what we want, and this is something different, and this is something which you have to think about. ठीक है, तो एक काम करते हैं, एक और बार मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं. Let's try to see a cube so that we can get the pattern. So let's try to find out a cube. So a cube would be equal to a square multiplied by a, obviously. So a square is p square p q plus 1, 0 and 1. And what is a? A is p q 0 1. So let's try to solve this now. So p square into p, this into 0, so p cube, obviously power 3, so p to the power 3 here. Then p square first row second column, so p square into q, then p q plus 1 into 1. Okay, then 0 into p 0, 1 into 0 0, 0 into q 0, 1 into 1 is 1. Now if you solve this, you will get something like p cube, and you can take now you can write it as, this is p square, sorry, no plus sign, p square q plus p q plus 1, 0 and 1. So if you rewrite it, you can simply say that this is something like, you can write it as 1 plus pq plus p square q. So as you can see, this is something like a GP, 1 then multiply by pq, then multiply by p square q. So basically GP, okay, this is q actually, pq actually थोड़ा गलत कॉमन ले लिया हमने, यहाँ पे थोड़ा मिस्टेक हुआ है. There was a mistake here, so I guess this is also a mistake, this is also a mistake, but this will be a mistake too. ऐसे अच्छा नहीं लगता जब मिस्टेक होती है तो. So this is pq plus q, so this would be qp plus 1, q common, qp plus 1. So this would be p square into q plus qp plus 1. So if you take q again common, you will get 1 plus p square. So that would be equal to q common, 1 plus p square. So if you see, this is sort of a GP, 1 then multiply by p, then multiply by p square. So if you carry it forward, you will get something like, so for example e to the power n, you will get something like p to the power n, because the power of p goes with power of a. This is 0, this is 1 as usual, and here you will get q as common, 1 plus p square dot dot dot, how many times? P to the power n minus 1 times. Why? So just see, when it was 3, the highest power was 2. When it was 2, the highest power was 1. So when it is n, the highest power would be n minus 1. The highest power would be n minus 1. Now what is this? This is a GP. What is the sum of a GP? A r to the power n minus 1, which is p to the power n, total number of terms, minus 1 upon r minus 1. What is the total number of terms? Obviously, if you see here, 0, 1 to 0, sorry, 0 1 up to n minus 1. How many terms are there? Total n terms. So p to the power n minus 1 upon p minus 1. So this could be written as p to the power n q p to the power n minus 1 upon p minus 1 any n. Now we have to calculate a to the power 8. We can simply put the value 8 here. So we will get p to the power 8 q p to the power 8 minus 1 upon p minus 1 0 1. एंड यही तो प्रूव करना था हमको. p to the power 8 q p to the power 8 minus 1 upon p minus 1 0 1. So in such kind of question you simply have to find a pattern and see what kind of pattern is this, और फिर उसे एक्सट्रापोलेट कर देना है फॉर एनी n, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली n टाइम्स मल्टीप्लाई थोड़े ना करोगे. आई होप यू गॉट द आइडिया. बेसिकली जस्ट दिस इज चैप्टर इंडक्शन. इंडक्शन में क्या करते हैं, एक आधा बार पैटर्न पता चलता है, देन यू जनरलाइज इट. सो सिमिलर टू दैट. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. तो अभी तो मल्टीप्लिकेशन खत्म हुआ. देयर इज समथिंग विच वी हैव टू स्टडी विच इज ट्रांसपोज ऑफ अ मैट्रिक्स. ओके, ट्रांसपोज ऑफ अ मैट्रिक्स. देखो यार ट्रांसपोज कैसे निकालता है. ट्रांसपोज का ना काफ़ी सारे रियल लाइफ एप्लीकेशन है. देखो ट्रांसपोज का रियल लाइफ में मतलब होता क्या है. मान लो तुम्हारे पास एक इमेज है. पहले तो देखो मैट्रिक्स का रियल लाइफ इमेज एप्लीकेशन होता क्या है. तो मैट्रिक्स बेसिकली क्या होता है, अ बंच ऑफ नंबर्स इन अ 2 डायमेंशनल स्पेस लाइक 1 2 3 4 5. लाइफ एप्लीकेशन समझते हैं. व्हाट इज द रियल लाइफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दिस मैट्रिक्स. सो आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू. क्या हुआ, ये लाइव कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ क्या. या तो इसका रियल लाइफ एप्लीकेशन समझते हैं. तो इमेजेस पता है सबको. फोटो तो सबने क्लिक की होगी. तो देखो फोटो होती क्या है. क्या हो रहा है, वाईफाई इतना स्लो क्यों चल रहा है. ठीक है, तो देखो फोटो होती क्या है. फोटो कुछ नहीं होती है. इट्स अ 2 डायमेंशन अरे. दिस इज हाउ अ फोटो लुक्स लाइक. फोटो हैज अ लॉट ऑफ पिक्सेल्स. रिमेंबर, a photo or a video is nothing but a bunch of pixels. This is how a photo looks like. If you break a photo, if you zoom out a photo, this is how a photo looks like. So this has some pixel value, this has some pixel value, this has some pixel values, and this pixel value is nothing but a real number. This is a real number. So similarly it is a bunch of real number, a lot of real numbers. So see, this is nothing but a matrix. This is nothing but a matrix. So you can say an image that you see in your computer or your laptop is nothing but a matrix representation. तो image कुछ नहीं होती, matrix representation होती है. ठीक है. तो for example multiplication by a scalar actually is changing the contrast of a image. जैसे k into a करता हूँ, इसका मतलब होता है I am changing the contrast of the image. I am applying some kind of filter. Okay. Now let's talk about the transpose of a matrix. What exactly is the transpose? So now for example I want to rotate an image. अभी image ऐसी थी, ठीक है, image ऐसी थी. I want to rotate it 90 degree so that the image looks like this. 90 degree image rotate करनी है. करते हो कभी कभी तुमको image rotated मिलती है तो तुम rotate करते हो. So what exactly is happening? I am flipping out all the pixels. This is known as transpose operation. This is known as transpose operation. So होता क्या practically? For example, you have a matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now when you flip it, when you take a transpose, what is happening? Its rows will become so these are the rows 1 2 3. This will become columns, and the columns will become rows. So basically, this you flipped it out 1 2 3 4 5 6 is the next one. So its rows became its columns, and the columns became its rows. समझ में आ गया? Column to rows and rows to columns. This is nothing but taking a transpose. तो transpose में क्या करते हैं? For example, if you have an element, let's say aij, when you take a transpose, that element will become aji. Aij will become aji. Understand? क्योंकि रो कॉलम हो जाएगा, कॉलम रो हो जाएगा. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स सी अ proper example. What is the index of this? This is A23. A23. Now if you see 4 here, 21, actually it's just A21. Okay, if you see 4 here, this would be A first row second column. So 21 actually become 12. I was much 21 became 12. Similarly, if you see this, this is A second row. Let's see 6. This would be A second row third column, and this 6 is A third row second column. So they actually reverse their places. So index will get changed. So Aij will become Aji in the transpose matrix. ठीक है, तो एक और एग्जांपल देख लेते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव सम मैट्रिक्स लाइक 1 7 2 5. इफ यू टेक अ ट्रांसपोज, then it will become transpose. It means that you have to take this and write it like this. 7 5 will become this. So the row will become column, the row will become column. Okay, so this is, let's say, A. Now the transpose operation is generally denoted by A to the AT. AT means transpose of A. ठीक है, so for example you have a matrix 3 5 2 2 7 9 5 3 3. The transpose, this is known as a transpose operation. So the final result will be 3 5 5, write it like this. 2 2 3, write like this. 7 9 3, write it like this. So first row will become the first column, second row became the second column, third row will become the third column. ठीक है, तो rows will switch places with the columns. Similarly, columns will automatically switch places with the row. Columns will automatically switch places with the row. Column will automatically switch places with the row. So row become a column and column became the one row. And any position, let's say 9, this position is A second third row second column. So this, what is happening? This A32 will become A23 here. So this is second row third column. Okay, and obviously the diagonal elements, they don't change their position. The diagonal element, the diagonal, I don't know why is it, the diagonal elements, ये diagonal elements जो है ये अपनी position change नहीं करेंगे. क्यों? Because Aij becomes Aji obviously. But for a diagonal element, if you remember yesterday's class, diagonal element j is equal to I. J is equal to I for a diagonal element. So this will become Aii, and this will also become Aii, and both are actually equal. देखो A33 है, A33 को फ्लिप भी करोगे तो A33 ही तो बनेगा. A31 को अगर फ्लिप करोगे तो A13 बन जाएगा. चलो ये तो सही है, ये तो फ्लिप हो गया. लेकिन A33 को फ्लिप करोगे तो फिर 33 बनेगा, क्योंकि 33 को दोबारा से फ्लिप करके कुछ चेंज तो होगा नहीं, बोथ आर इक्वल. समझे? इसीलिए when you have a diagonal element, it won't change its position. The diagonal element, you can generalize it as diagonal element don't change their position. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन. तो ट्रांसपोज, चलो ट्रांसपोज की फिर कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज देख लेते हैं. सो ए ट्रांसपोज टू द ट्रांसपोज विल गिव यू ए. इट मीन्स दैट इफ यू टेक अ ट्रांसपोज एंड देन यू अगेन टेक अ ट्रांसपोज, सो इट विल गिव यू द ओरिजिनल मैट्रिक्स. काफ़ी ऑब्वियस है. इफ यू टेक अ ट्रांसपोज द रो विल बिकम कॉलम, बट इफ यू अगेन टेक अ ट्रांसपोज दिस कॉलम विल अगेन बिकम रो. सो वी आर फ्रॉम वेयर वी स्टार्टेड वेयर वी एंडेड. सो ऑब्वियसली ए ट्रांसपोज टू द ट्रांसपोज will become A plus B transpose. If you have sum and then you take transpose, transpose distributes linearly, so A transpose plus B transpose. Okay, another thing is A B transpose. This is important. If you have two matrices multiplied and then you take a transpose, so this will become B transpose A transpose. The second matrix first with a transpose, the first matrix with a transpose. So for example you have, let's say you have three matrices. For the three matrices also you can write the same. This will become C transpose B transpose A transpose. ठीक है, और फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव फोर मेट्रिसेस A B C D. then again you can write D transpose, C transpose, B transpose, A transpose. Very easy to prove. Okay, so this is, and another property is, for example, you have some scalar like a real number. So scalar, obviously there is no point of taking a transpose of a scalar. मतलब ही नहीं बनता. Transpose is a matrix operation, so this will become remain the same, and this is this. Okay, A scalar है, real number है. ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन तो हमने कर ही लिए थे. आगे बढ़ते हैं थोड़ा सा. ये भी कर लिया. चलो ये करते हैं. तो आई होप ट्रांसपोज एंड मल्टीप्लिकेशन सबको क्लियर हो गया है. तो अब बस क्वेश्चंस बचे हैं, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं. Okay, so the first question is that RT, there is a matrix, just somehow you define a matrix R as a function of t, and it is cos t, sin t, minus sin t and cos t. तो देखो इस t का मतलब क्या है, मतलब है कि यहाँ पे अगर t होगा तो यहाँ पे t होगा. ठीक है, मतलब मान लो मैं इसको Rx डिफाइन करूँ, if I write it as Rx, this will become cos x, sin x, minus sin x and cos x. So wherever it was t, now replace it with x. Okay, so we have to prove that Rs into Rt, this is equal to Rs plus t. What is the meaning of Rs plus t? Rs plus t, the meaning of Rs plus t is that you will have, what is this, cos instead of t you will have s plus t, then you will have sin s plus t, minus sin s plus t and cos s plus t. ठीक है, this is what it means, that whatever is here it will change the argument. फंक्शन का मतलब ये होता है ना, if you write fx is equal to sin x, then f of 2x would become sin of 2x. इसका ये तो मतलब होता है फंक्शन का, फंक्शन ऑफ x, the variable. चलो, so let's try to calculate the multiplication Rs into Rt, and let's see whether this is equal to, actually equal to this Rs plus t. So what is Rs? It is cos s, sin s, minus sin s and cos s. ठीक है, and you have to multiply it with cos t, sin t. Remember, first Rs then Rt, not the other way. Remember, AB is not equal to BA in general. So obviously Rs into Rt is not equal to Rt into Rs. So order, we have to maintain the order. पहले Rs then Rt. Okay, so let's do the multiplication. First row, first column. So cos s into cos t plus sin s into minus sin t, minus sin s. Interesting. Yeah, minus sin s into sin t. First row, first column. Similarly, first row, second column. So cos s into sin t क्या हुआ एकदम से ये बंद क्यों हो जाता है? cos s into sin t, then sin s into cos t. Okay, minus sin s into cos t minus cos s into sin t. Okay, first row, first column. So sin s into cos, sin into cos, cos into sine with a negative sign. Then minus sine into sine, this will be minus sinus sine t, and cos is cos t. पहले तो देखो ये वाला टर्म, ये टर्म एंड दिस टर्म इज सेम. cos is cos t minus sinus sin t minus sinus sin t. Okay, and the other thing is this is cos is sin t plus sinus cos t, and this is, if you take negative common, you will get cos s sin t plus sinus cos t. तो वट एवर इज दिस, उसका नेगेटिव यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है. तो ऑब्वियसली पैटर्न तो दिख रहा है, जो यहाँ पर है वही यहाँ पर है, जो यहाँ पर है उसका नेगेटिव यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है. तो फर्स्ट यू शुड नो अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक आइडेंटिटीज, थोड़ा बहुत तो पता होना चाहिए. तो cos a cos b minus sin a sin b is actually cos a plus b. Similarly, sin a plus b is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So if you look at this, you will get cos a cos b sin a sin b. So that is cos of s plus t, because this is a and this is b. Only cos a sin b sin a cos b, that would be cos a sin b sin a cos b. So that is sin a plus 3, so s plus t. Similarly here the same is present with a negative sign, and here the same is present, and if you see, this is nothing but rs plus t. So we have proved that rs multiplied by rt is rs plus t. ये हमने प्रूव कर दिया. ठीक है ना. देख लो एक बार क्या हुआ यहाँ पे. Simple matrix multiplication and trigonometric identities. चलो ठीक है, तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. ओके, अगला क्वेश्चन. पढ़ लिया क्वेश्चन. तो क्वेश्चन में क्या बोला? मैट्रिक्स A हैज m rows and n plus 5 columns. So what does it mean? So matrix M order is m cross n plus 5. Okay. And matrix B has m rows and 11 minus n columns. Okay, बढ़िया. And it is said that AB and BA both are defined, both exist. Then we have to prove that AB and BA, they are square matrices. So पहले तो ये देखते हैं. For AB to exist, so write A into B. A is m cross n plus 5, and this is m cross 11 minus n. So AB will exist when this is equal, number of column, number of rows. So AB exists, इसका मतलब m equal n plus 5. Equation number 1. Okay. For BA to exist, B is m cross 11 minus n. Okay, m cross 11 minus n, and A is m cross n plus 5. So for BA to exist, these two should be equal. The column and row, this should be equal. So m should be equal to 11 minus n. So we have two equation. m equal to n plus 5 and 11 minus n. If you solve them, you will get 11 minus n equal to n plus 5. So you will get something like 2n is equal to 6, so n will be equal to 3. If n is 3, m is equal to 8. So what is the order of A? The order of A is m cross n plus 5. So m is 8, n plus 5, which is 3 plus 5, 8. This is order of A. What is the order of B? The order of B would be m cross 11 minus n. So m is 8. 11 minus n, 11 minus 3 is 8. So A is 8 cross 8, B is 8 cross 8, which means they both are square. So what will be AB? A would be 8 cross 8 multiplied by 8 cross 8. So this is equal. हटाओ इसे. So 8 cross 8 is the answer, is the dimension order of AB. Similarly, if you look at BA, B is A cross 8 and A is also 8 cross 8. So ये तो common है, इसको हटाओ. The remaining is 8 cross 8. So the output, the dimension or the order of BA is 8 cross 8. So the order of AB and BA, they are both equal and it is 8 cross 8. 8 rows and 8 columns. So basically we had to prove that they are square. And square matrices में क्या होता है? Square matrices number of rows and columns are equal. So here also rows is equal to columns. Rows equal to column equal to 8. So these both of them would be square matrices. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. चलो, so we have been given A and we have been given B. There are two matrices such that they are commutative. पहले समझो commutative का मतलब क्या होता है. Commutative means AB equal to BA. This is the meaning of commutative. Two matrices are commutative if AB equal to BA, and it's given that C is not equal to 3B. Then we have to find the value of A minus D upon 3B minus C. Obviously if C is equal to 3B, ये तो 0 हो जाएगा. Something upon 0 is not defined. So this condition actually makes sense. Then we have to find the value of A minus D and 3B minus C. So they are commutative. It means we have to find some condition from here. AB should be equal to BA. So let's try to find AB and BA. So A is 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is A, B, C, D. Okay. So first find AB. AB would be equal to, just multiply by this. So 1 into A, 2 into C, 2C, 1 into B, B, 2 into D, 2D, 3 into A, 3A, 4 into C, 4C, 3 into B, 3B, 4 into D, 4D. This is AB. What about BA? This would be equal to ABCD multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see this, AB multiplied with 1, 3, so A plus 3B, AB multiplied with 2 and 4, so 2A plus 4B, then you have C plus 3D, and then you have 2C plus 4D. So this is BA and this is AB. Commutative means AB should be equal to BA. Now what does it mean? It means that A plus 3B, 2A plus 4B, C plus 3D, 2C plus 4D, this guy should be equal to A plus 2C, B plus 2D, 3A plus 4C and 3B plus 4D. They should be equal. ठीक है, ये दोनों इक्वल होने चाहिए. तो एक काम करते हैं, इक्वल करते हैं. सो फर्स्ट A plus 3B should be equal to A plus 2C. A will get cancelled out. You will get 3b equal to 2c. 3b equal to 2c, or what you can say is that, yeah, 3b equal to 2c, or you can simply say c equal to 3 by 2b. C equal to 3 by 2b. Okay. The other one is basically we have to calculate a minus t. A minus t. So where is a and where is t? This is a and this is t. Okay. So 2a plus 4b is equal to b plus 2d. So you will get 2a minus 2d should be equal to minus 3b, 4b, b minus 4b, b minus 4b. So 2a minus t equal to minus 3b. So a minus t is equal to minus 3 upon 2b. This is a minus t. So what did we have to calculate? We have to calculate a minus t upon 3b minus c. Okay. So what is a minus d? A minus d is 3 by 2b. Okay. 3b minus c. 3b, and what is c? C is 3 by 2b. Okay. So if you solve this, you will get 3 minus 3 by 2. That is 3 by 2. So 3 by 2b upon 3 by 2b cancels out. The answer would be minus 1. So this answer, this guy value is minus 1. Okay. ठीक है ना. चलो, बेसिकली ए बी इक्वल टू सी बी ए क्या है, एंड देन यू गॉट द आंसर. ओके, तो इसको थोड़ा जूम कर लेते हैं. आई डोंट नो ये क्या है, पुराना विंडोज है. एनीवे, सो वी हैव, so if a equal to 1 1 1 1, we have to prove a to the power n is equal to 2 to the power n minus 1 into a. This is what we have to prove. 2 to the power n minus 1, this is a scalar, this is a matrix, this is a matrix, and this is what we have to prove. So again, in order to find a pattern, first we have to see for 2 or 3 numbers, then we will see whether this pattern will follow. So पहले तो a square calculate करते हैं, a to the power 2, which is a into a, and see if this is true. So 1 1 into 1 1 2, 1 1 into 1 1 2, 1 1 into 1 1. So 1 into 1, 1 into 1, 1 plus 1 2. This is also 2. This could be written as 2 into 1 1 1 1. Remember, if you take a scalar, then you have to multiply with every element. So 2 2. This will also get 2, this will also get 2. So 2 2 2 2 is equal to 2 into this. This could be written as 2 to the power 2 minus 1 into a. ठीक है, 2 to the power 2 minus 1 into a. तो ये तो हमने प्रूव कर दिया that this is true for n equal to 2. This is true for n equal to 2. What about, let's assume that this is true for n equal to k. It means that a to the power k is actually 2 to the power k minus 1 into a, and then then to prove that this is true for n equal to k plus 1, simple mathematical induction, that's how you do it. So n equal to k plus 1 के लिए prove करेंगे. So a to the power k plus 1 would be equal to a to the power k multiplied by a. What is a to the power k? This is 2 to the power k minus 1, okay, multiplied by a, multiply by a. Now a into a is a square. What is a square? A square is 2 into a. So this would be equal to 2 to the power k multiplied by a, which is nothing but 2 to the power k plus ठीक है. Basically we proved it for any k, for any k. So if it is true for any k, it is true for all the n's. This is how you approach in a principle of mathematical induction way. You मतलब ऐसे करते हैं कि you start with you prove it for an arbitrary k. अगर किसी arbitrary k के लिए true है तो सारे ऐसे k's के लिए true होगा, यानी सारे n के लिए true होगा. चलो moving on. क्वेश्चन, तो ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं. क्वेश्चन है इफ a इक्वल टू 3 minus 4 1 minus 1 and a to the power k is 1 plus 2k minus 4k k and 1 minus 2k. This is what we have to prove, just like the previous question, that if a is this, then a to the power k would be something like this. ठीक है, ऐसे प्रूव करना है. तो क्या करेंगे, सबसे पहले we will start with the base condition. Anyway, okay, so let's try to do it. You will get 3 into 3, which is 9, minus 4 into 1. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. 4, then 3 into 4. This row, this. 3 4s are 12, 4 1s are 4. 12 and 4 is 16. 1 3s are 3, minus 1, so 2. And 1 4s are minus 4, plus 1. Minus 4 plus 1 is 3. Now if you see this, 5 minus 16, 2 and minus 3, this could be written as 1 plus 2 into 2 minus 4 into wait a second, 3 4s are 12, this is actually 8 not 16. ठीक है ना, 3 4s are 12 minus 4, so 8 minus 4 into 2, this is actually 2 and this is 1 minus 2 into 2, and this is A2. So for A2 this pattern follows. What was the pattern? 1 plus 2k minus 4k k and 1 minus 2k. Similarly, if you calculate A cube, it would be something like 1 plus, चलो एक काम करते हैं, A cube calculate कर ही लेते हैं. So let's try to calculate A cube. So A cube would be equal to A square into A. A square कितना है? 5 minus 16, 2 minus 3, and A कितना है? A है 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. So this is A. Multiply it. 5 3s are 15, 16, 5 3s are 15. Not minus 16, that is minus 8. Five 3s are 15 minus 8, so that is 7. 5 4s are 20, minus 20 plus 8, so that is minus 12. 2 3s are 6 minus 3, so that is 3. 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are minus 8 plus 3, that is minus 5. Now if you see, this could be written as 1 plus 3 into 2 minus 4 into 3, 3 and 1 minus 2 into 3. So again this pattern follows. So this is true for 3 also. If you keep on doing this, you will see that even for a to the power k, the pattern would be 1 plus 2k minus 4 into k, k and 1 minus 2k. So generally this is how you approach a pattern type question. K, if you say a to the power k, what is the value of a to the power k or a to the power n? Obviously you can't multiply a matrix by itself n times. n times तो कर ही सकते हो. तो इससे बढ़िया है पैटर्न देखो, उस हिसाब से एक्स्ट्रापोलेट कर दो. ठीक है, तो we proved it for 2, we proved it for 3. If it was 3, so 3 3 3 3 instead of k, 3 यहाँ पे k आ जाएगा a to the power k के लिए. ओके, चलो अगला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. लेट्स सी और कितने क्वेश्चन है, फिर कॉन्जुगेट ही तो बचा है सिर्फ, तो आई गेस ये लास्ट क्वेश्चन है. चलो तो इसे स्टार्ट करते हैं. यू हैव ए, you have B, and X be a matrix such that A equal to Bx. तो पहले तो देखो A is 2 cross 2, B is 2 cross 2, and let's say X is M cross N. तो पहले तो if the multiplication is defined, 2 should be equal to M, so M equal to 2. Okay, this is one thing. Also, the final order would be 2 cross N because this get collapsed, so final order of Bx should be 2 cross N, but it is equal to 2 cross 2, so N equal to 2, so M2 and N2, it means that X will have an order of 2 cross 2. It means X will also be a square matrix. So 2 cross 2 matrix will look something like this. So let's say we assume X to be A, B, C, D, where A, B and C and D are some values. This is 2 cross 2 obviously. So it has been said that A equal to Bx. So first let's try to calculate Bx. What is B? B is 1002. So this is A, B, C, D. Do this, so you will get A 1, and then you will get B. This is here, you will get 2C, and this will get you 2D. This is Bx. And what is A? A is equal to 1, 2, 3 minus 5. So if you simply compare, since these two matrices are equal, A would be equal to 1, B would be equal to 2, 2C would be equal to 3, which means C equal to 3 by 2, minus 5 equal to 2D, it means D equal to minus 5 by 2. So the X matrix is actually 1, 2, 3 by 2, minus 5 by 2. This is X, because X was A, B, C, D, so 1, 2, 3 by 2, minus 5 by 2. सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, आई नो, बट सिंपल क्वेश्चन करके बेस बनता है एक बार को कि हाउ मेट, क्योंकि मेट्रिसेस आर सिंपल लाइक आर अ completely different kind of objects that you have ever dealt with. So it's very important that all the basic operations are clear. Transpose, multiplication. The other operation is the conjugate of a matrix. So let's see conjugate कैसे निकालते हैं. So for example, you have, suppose in a complex number, it's not necessary that there are only real number. You can also have imaginary numbers or complex numbers. So for example, let's say this is a matrix 1 plus iota, 2 minus iota, iota, and 3. This is a matrix. So conjugate is actually written as this bar, and conjugate, A conjugate is defined as conjugate of every element. Now you know how to calculate the conjugate of a complex number. I have already taught it in my complex number series. So 1 plus iota will become 1 minus iota, 2 minus iota will become 2 plus iota, iota will become minus iota, and 3 is a real number, so it will become 3. How do you take the conjugate? Whatever is a coefficient of iota, you make it negative. So negative से positive हो गया, positive से negative, sign flip. So for example, 2 plus 3 iota, conjugate will become 2 minus 3 iota, or 2 minus 3 iota will become 2 plus 3 iota. The sign of the iota term will be getting flipped. So this is the conjugate, how you take conjugate. Now similar to transpose, it has some properties. A conjugate conjugate, if you take 2 times conjugate, you will get the same matrix. Okay, A plus B conjugate is A conjugate plus B conjugate. AB conjugate is B conjugate multiplied by A conjugate, and a number multiplied by A conjugate would be that number conjugate multiplied by A conjugate. obviously a can be complex, right? It can be complex, so obviously for that conjugate of complex number. And how do you calculate a complex of conjugate number? By simply taking the flipping the sign of that complex part. So this is conjugate. But before we move on, there is something which I would like to tell you, and something, this is known as transpose conjugate or conjugate transpose. तो देखो conjugate transpose क्या होता है. Conjugate transpose is you have a matrix, you click transpose, then you take a conjugate. समझे? Transpose then conjugate. So for example, you have 2 plus iota, 3 minus 2 iota, 2 iota, and 7, 5. 5 plus 2 iota. So first you take the transpose of this matrix. So transpose is row will become columns. Okay, row became column, row became column. Transpose. Then you take the conjugate of this conjugate, and conjugate would be 2 plus iota will become 2 minus iota, it will become minus 2 iota, 3 plus 2 iota, and 5 minus 2 iota. This is known as the complex conjugate. First you take the transpose, then you take the conjugate. So transpose conjugate. And it is evident to remember that this order can be swapped. That even if you first take the conjugate, then you take transpose, you will get the same answer. Okay. So for example, you have been given a matrix, you first take its transpose, then you take its conjugate. It is similar that you first take its conjugate, then apply the transpose. So whichever operation is actually more feasible, you tend to go with that. ठीक है? So I guess this is more than enough. आज के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. Let's try and finish this stuff. Tomorrow we will study some important properties, important or special kind of matrices. ठीक है? तो see you tomorrow at 6 PM. And if you like the lecture, तो यार like तो कर ही देना. Do like and subscribe. And if you want to take a plus subscription, SK01, remember this promo code. Link is in the description. अगर Unacademy पे सब्सक्राइब करना है तो, if you want to take a plus subscription. ठीक है? चलो यार, मिलते हैं. बाय.